There are base-building games coming in 2026 that almost nobody is talking about yet. Games where you build pirate forts on tropical islands, flying castles in the sky, and even a full base on top of a camper van. Some of these already have over 1 million wish lists, and chances are you haven't heard of a single one. So let's fix that. Here are 10 brand new base-building games you've never seen before. Let's kick things off with the one that's already taking over Steam. StarRupture. And this one's for players who like their base building with a heavy dose of industrial automation and factory management. Creepy Jar. The same team behind Green Hell, StarRupture takes the survival base building formula and adds a Factorio-inspired twist. You're a prisoner on the planet Arcadia 7, forced to build factories and gather resources for faceless corporations, all while dealing with a star that periodically wipes the surface clean in apocalyptic ruptures. The base building here is all about industrial systems. You're not just constructing shelters, you're building entire automated production facilities. The game features complex resource chains, where raw materials need to be processed through multiple stages. You'll set up mining drills on resource nodes, connect them with conveyor belts to processing facilities, smelt ores into usable materials, and automate production lines to craft everything you need. What makes this exciting is the scale you can achieve. You can build massive factories with multiple production lines running simultaneously, power grids using generators and power distributors, and storage systems to handle all your materials. The building system uses a modular approach, where you're placing foundations, walls, and machinery in a way that creates efficient layouts. And because you can play with up to 4 friends in co-op, you can collaborate on building these enormous industrial complexes. But here's the twist. Remember those ruptures I mentioned? Periodically, the planet's star goes supernova and wipes the surface clean with fire and destruction. This creates a unique building challenge. You need to design bases that can either withstand the rupture or be quickly rebuilt after. There are underground areas and protective measures you can take, which adds strategic depth to base placement and construction. The game also features base defense elements because you're not alone on this planet. Hostile alien creatures attack your facilities, so you need to incorporate defensive structures into your builds. Walls, turrets, and defensive positions become essential parts of your industrial base design. Now, StarRupture did get pushed back from its original 2025 release date, which always raises some concerns, but the developers have been transparent about needing more polish time. They recently ran a successful 2-week playtest that generated a lot of positive buzz. The Unreal Engine 5 visuals look stunning. They actually traveled to Iceland to capture realistic, harsh environment references, and the gameplay footage shows a really sophisticated building system. If you're into games like Satisfactory, Factorio, or Dyson Sphere Program, but you want it with a survival twist and co-op support, StarRupture is shaping up to be something special. The combination of factory building, automation, co-op play, and that ever-present threat of planetary destruction creates a unique pressure cooker building experience. From alien factories to the open seas. This next game just dropped a demo that pulled in 22,000 players, and it hasn't even launched yet. What happens when you combine pirate survival with one of the best base building systems we've ever seen in the genre? Windrose is a survival adventure set in an alternate age of piracy, and it is absolutely blowing up right now. The demo just hit over 22,000 concurrent players on Steam. It's sitting at 93% positive reviews, and the game has already crossed 1 million wish lists. and it hasn't even launched into early access yet. So here's the setup. You're a captain rising through the ranks, challenging legendary pirates like Blackbeard himself. The world is procedurally generated across diverse biomes filled with handcrafted dungeons, quests, and supernatural enemies. Combat has this Souls-like feel to it, with stamina-based attacks, parries, and dodge rolls. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the building. Players are calling Windrose's building system one of the best they've experienced in any non-voxel survival game. And after seeing what people have already built in just the demo, we believe it. You can establish a foothold in any biome, gather resources, and build everything from simple shelters to elaborate mansions and fully developed pirate forts. The modular construction system is intuitive but deep, giving you serious creative freedom without fighting against clunky snap points. But the building is only half the story. Naval combat is a massive part of the game. You can equip and customize your ship, from nimble ketches to versatile brigs and monstrous frigates. Engage in cannon fire at range or close in for boarding actions. The transition between ship and shore is completely seamless, so one minute you're decorating your base, and the next you're boarding an enemy vessel. Windrose supports up to 4 players in co-op, with both self-hosted and dedicated servers. Progress carries over between worlds, so you keep everything you've earned. This one came out of nowhere, and it might just be the pirate game builders have been waiting for. From pirate ships to airships, what if your entire base could fly? What if your base wasn't on the ground at all? What if it was an airship you built from scratch and flew across the sky? That's Echoes of Elysium. This is a co-op airship survival RPG from indie studio Highreach Games that just launched into early access on January 27, 2026. It's priced at $19.99 and supports up to 6-player co-op. The concept here is one of the most exciting things we've seen in the survival crafting space in a while. You're dropped into Elysium, a procedurally generated world of floating islands filled with clockwork beasts, ancient ruins, and a hostile faction called the Heron. The twist? Your airship isn't just transportation. It is your base. Everything you'd normally do on the ground in a survival game, crafting, cooking, storage, upgrades, all happens on your ship. You're literally building a flying home that doubles as a war machine. Now let's talk about the building, because this is where it gets really good for us. The airship construction is fully modular. You design every part of your ship piece by piece, from the hull and sails to the rooms and weapons. Want a massive floating fortress bristling with turrets? Go for it. Prefer a nimble scout ship built for speed? You can do that too. Each player in co-op builds their own ship, so you end up with a fleet where everyone has a different role. One person runs the battleship, another handles cargo, someone else focuses on exploration. The teamwork potential here is massive. The game draws comparisons to Valheim and Sea of Thieves, and honestly both fit. The resource loop feels very Valheim. Gather, craft, upgrade, push into harder biomes. But the aerial combat with friends manning turrets while you dodge enemy fire? That's pure Sea of Thieves chaos in the sky. Now let's be real, it's early access and it shows. Steam reviews are sitting at mixed with 59% positive. Players report multiplayer desync issues, clunky ground combat, and limited content in the first region. But the devs are pushing patches fast, and the community says Highreach Games is one of the most responsive teams they've seen. The roadmap for 2026 looks solid. A spring expansion adds dynamic storms, Tier 3 airship parts, and a new boss. Summer brings a new biome, caves, dungeons, and a pilot class. This one's early, but the foundation is strong. If airship building sounds like your thing, keep it on the wish list. If you like that idea but want something even bigger, wait until you see this next one. What if you could build a base and then fly it across the sky? Guardians of the Wild Sky is a survival crafting game from Blue Isle Studios, the team behind Slender: The Arrival. But this time, they're going in a completely different direction. You're dropped into a massive open world made up of thousands of floating islands, surrounded by clouds, magical creatures, and ancient ruins. Your job? Survive, explore, tame creatures called guardians, and build whatever your imagination can handle. Now here's where it gets really interesting for us builders. The building system in this game isn't just a side feature, it's one of the core pillars. You can build cozy cottages on the ground, fortified bases, elaborate homesteads, or go absolutely wild and construct full-on flying castles. Yeah, castles that float. The building pieces are modular, you can rotate and snap them however you want, and the creative freedom here looks seriously promising. But the real game changer? Airship building. You can construct your own fully custom airship from the ground up. We're talking modular ship design where you choose the hull, the sails, the layout, everything. And this isn't just for traveling. You can build crafting stations, storage, farms, all on your ship. Basically, your base goes wherever you go. For anyone who's ever been frustrated leaving their base behind to explore, this is the answer. And it gets even better. Your guardians, the creatures you tame, can actually be assigned to work on your base or your airship. They'll help you build, handle repairs, man the artillery, and automate tasks through a ghost building system. That's next level base automation right there. Weather and wind also affect your airship, so there's actual depth to how you sail. It's not just point and fly. The full game spans over 800 square kilometers with co-op support for up to 5 players. Whether you're building solo or with friends, this one has serious potential. Keep an eye on this game, builders. We're staying in the sky for this next one, but the vibe is completely different. Think less combat, more cozy. What if your entire base was powered by sunshine, wind, and water, and it floated in the sky? Solarpunk is a survival crafting game set in a gorgeous world of floating islands, and it's been one of the most wishlisted games on Steam for good reason. We're talking over 900,000 wishlists, a wildly successful Kickstarter that smashed its goal 10 times over, and one of the most downloaded demos during Steam Next Fest. This one is coming in 2026, and the hype is very real. The concept is beautifully simple. You wake up on a floating island in a technically advanced world. Your job is to build a self-sustaining home in the sky using renewable energy, farming, crafting, and automation. You can play solo or with friends in co-op, where everyone gets their own inventory and can either build together or create their own little corner of the sky. Now let's talk building, because this is where Solarpunk really shines. The construction system gives you a wide range of materials and decorations to design your dream base. We're not talking basic shacks here. The community has already been building incredible structures in the demo alone, from multi-story eco-homes to elaborate sky gardens with integrated tech systems. You have full creative freedom to place walls, floors, roofs, furniture, and decorations however you want. But the real magic is in the energy system. You generate electricity using solar panels, wind turbines, and hydropower. Weather conditions actually affect your energy output, so you have to plan ahead and store energy in batteries. Wireless power keeps your entire base running smoothly without ugly cable runs everywhere. Once your energy grid is set up, you can automate resource gathering using transport drones that collect materials for you. And when you're ready to explore beyond your home island, you build your own personal airship. Fly to distant islands, discover new resources, and bring them back to expand your base even further. Solarpunk is shaping up to be something really special for builders who want beauty and brains in their base. Alright, from floating islands to solid ground. But this next game does something with base building we've genuinely never seen before. What if your base had wheels and you could drive it anywhere in the world? Outbound takes the survival crafting formula and flips it completely. Instead of planting a base in one spot and building outward, you start with an empty electric camper van and turn it into a fully functional mobile home. Build inside it. Build on top of it. Drive it through an entire open world of diverse biomes. This is base building on the move, and it's one of the freshest ideas we've seen in the genre in years. The game has already crossed 1.1 million wishlists on Steam and is targeting a Q2 2026 release on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and even Nintendo Switch 2. Here's how the building works. Your camper van has a camper mode that pops up a second floor from the roof. From there, you can place workstations, greenhouses, storage, machines, and sleeping quarters using a modular building system. Every piece snaps together cleanly, and you can customize the look with paint, decorations, and furniture. It's essentially a tiny home simulator meets survival game, and the creative possibilities are surprisingly deep. Energy management is a huge part of the experience. Your van runs on electricity, and you need to install solar panels, wind turbines, and hydropower systems to keep it charged. These only generate power while parked in camper mode though, so you have to plan your stops strategically. There's even a biofuel burner that runs on fiber and wood for backup power. The survival loop is cozy rather than punishing. You forage, farm plants and mushrooms, cook meals, and explore at your own pace. No enemies, no combat stress, just you, your van, and the open road. You can also play in 4-player co-op, traveling as a caravan with friends. Each player manages their own character while sharing the journey together. If you've ever wanted a base building game where your base goes everywhere you go, Outbound is exactly that. From driving your base to flying on the back of a dragon. Yeah, this next one goes there. What if you crash-landed on a floating island with nothing but a baby dragon and had to build your way out? Dragon Survival is a survival RPG coming to early access in 2026, and it combines base building with something we don't see nearly enough in this genre. You raise a dragon. Not just as a pet or a mount, but as a full combat and survival companion that grows alongside you throughout the entire game. The setup is straightforward. You're a stranded hunter who crash lands on a mysterious floating island. To escape, you need to collect mana by defeating powerful island rulers, which means gathering resources, crafting gear, building a shelter, and growing stronger with your dragon companion Ignis by your side. Now here's what makes this interesting for builders. The world isn't one island, it's many. Lush forests, arid deserts, frozen tundras, and volcanic lava fields. Each island presents completely different survival challenges with unique climates, resources, crafting recipes, and enemies. That means your base strategy has to adapt every time you reach a new island. What worked in the forest won't work in the desert. The building system lets you construct wooden structures, crafting stations, and farming buildings. Resources are scarce on purpose, so every piece of your base has to earn its spot. Your tools, your shelter, your survival, it all has to be built with your own hands and whatever materials the island gives you. Combat is where the dragon partnership really kicks in. You fight alongside Ignis using Souls-like mechanics with dodge rolls, blocks, and cooperative dragon tactics. Each island ends with a powerful boss that has unique patterns and mechanics, and defeating them unlocks the path forward. The demo is sitting at 97% positive reviews on Steam, which almost never happens. It offers about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay and has already built a seriously enthusiastic community. For builders who want survival with a story and a dragon at their side, this one hits different. Loved that settlement feel? This next game takes it even further by letting you build an entire community. What if you could build an entire settlement from scratch, then fly to the next island on a customizable airship? Highreach is an open-world survival RPG coming to early access in Q1 2026, and it's quietly building buzz among base-building fans for one big reason. This game doesn't just let you build a base, it lets you build a community. The world of Highreach is a continent shattered by ancient magic, leaving behind a network of floating islands scattered across the sky. Each island has its own unique biome, resources, and dangers. You start with almost nothing and have to gather materials, manage hunger, thirst, health, and stamina while exploring procedurally generated environments that feel different every time you play. But the building system is where things get really exciting. You don't just build shelters, you build full settlements. As you explore, you rescue survivors and bring them back to your base. These aren't just decoration. Each settler has their own story and skills, and you assign them tasks like cooking, crafting, woodcutting, and mining. Your base becomes a living, functioning community that grows and evolves based on who you rescue and how you organize them. The construction itself gives you freedom to design encampments however you want, placing structures, workstations, and defenses in whatever layout suits your playstyle. As your settlement expands, so does your ability to craft more advanced gear and tools. Then there's the airship. You build and upgrade a fully customizable flying vessel that serves as your mobile base between islands. This isn't just a fast travel system. The airship is a core part of progression, letting you reach distant floating islands and discover new regions, resources, and procedurally generated dungeons with rare rewards. Combat includes melee, ranged, and magic-style attacks with dodge and block options, and the game supports up to 5 players in online co-op, where difficulty scales with group size. For builders who want their base to actually feel alive, Highreach is one to watch. Now let's go full sci-fi. This next game gives you a flying fortress on an alien planet. What if your entire base was a colossal flying airship hovering above an alien planet? Atmosfar is a sky-high survival adventure coming to Steam Early Access in 2026, published by Shueisha Games and developed by Apog Labs, the studio behind Airport CEO. And the concept alone is enough to get any builder excited. You're stranded on Tychos, a mysterious alien world made up of floating islands, and your main base is a massive, customizable airship called the Cloud Cruiser. This isn't a small vehicle. The Cloud Cruiser is a full mobile airbase that you build, upgrade, and expand throughout the game. Craft new tools and modules, install new technologies, and physically add rooms, workstations, and systems to your flying fortress. As you upgrade the Cloud Cruiser, you unlock the ability to reach higher altitudes and more dangerous regions of the planet. Your base literally determines how far you can go. But it gets even better. Alongside the Cloud Cruiser, you have a fleet of smaller flying vehicles called Wasps, each with unique functionality. The Utility Wasp helps with building and repairs. The Cargo Wasp handles heavy lifting and resource transport. The Scout surveys the planet from above, and the Fighter provides combat support. You scavenge scrap to engineer and upgrade each one, customizing their appearance, abilities, and aerodynamics. The survival elements have real teeth, too. Tychos throws turbulent thunderstorms, blizzards, and sandstorms at you, and each biome presents distinct challenges. You explore on foot during ground expeditions, gathering resources and uncovering extraterrestrial artifacts, then return to your cloud cruiser to process and build. The game supports 1 to 4 player co-op, so you can assemble a squadron with friends and divide responsibilities between piloting, building, resource gathering, and combat. For builders who've ever dreamed of commanding a flying base through alien skies, Atmosfar is bringing that fantasy to life. This is one of the most unique takes on base building we've seen in a long time. And for our final game, a tiny Japanese studio of just 4 people built something in Unreal Engine 5 that you need to see. What if a tiny Japanese indie studio of just 4 people built a survival game in Unreal Engine 5 that actually looked this good? Exelio is a craft survival game launching into Steam Early Access on March 5th, 2026, and it's turning heads for all the right reasons. Developed by AI Frog Interactive, this game was showcased at Tokyo Game Show 2025 and has been quietly building a dedicated following ever since. You're stranded on a harsh alien planet with nothing but your wits and whatever you can scavenge. The core loop is classic survival. Explore, gather resources, craft tools, build your base, and fight to stay alive. But what sets Exelio apart is the presentation. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the environments are genuinely beautiful. Lush alien landscapes, dramatic lighting, and a level of visual polish that's rare for a game made by such a small team. The base building focuses on functional survival construction. You're placing walls, floors, crafting stations, and defensive structures to create a home base that serves as your hub for exploration and progression. Resources on the planet are varied and dangerous to collect, so your base has to be more than just pretty. It needs to keep you alive. What makes Exelio particularly interesting is the narrative layer. As you explore, fragments of the story are revealed through logs, environmental storytelling, and events. You're piecing together what happened on this planet and why you're here. It gives every exploration run a purpose beyond just grabbing materials, which keeps you pushing deeper into unknown territory. The game supports up to 4K resolution on PC, and optimization is underway for Steam Deck and mid-range hardware. The early access launch includes content from the early to mid stages of the game, with the developers promising substantial volume right from day one. As a bonus, anyone who purchases during early access gets exclusive avatar outfits for the game's 2 heroines. For builders looking for a visually stunning survival experience with Japanese craftsmanship, Exelio deserves a spot on your wish list. And those are 10 brand new base building games coming in 2026 that most people don't even know exist yet. From alien planets to pirate coves to floating castles in the sky, this year is looking absolutely stacked for builders. If any of these caught your eye, drop a comment and let us know which one you're wishlisting first. And if you want more base building content like this, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more coming. See you in the next one.